Hey y'all, I'm Brooke Hoover, a Louisiana native, actor, writer, and comedian. I've lost 100 pounds through diet and exercise, or shall I say, lifestyle changes. My 20-year and counting health journey has taught me that just like taking a diet pill for weight loss, body positivity doesn't magically happen overnight. I'm working on regaining my self-esteem and rekindling my love affair with Cajun and Southern comfort food in a healthier way, all the while juggling eating as clean as I can, reestablishing myself in the entertainment industry, which, as we know, is historically fat-phobic, all the while showing my inner fat girl some love. That's fat with a PH. Pretty hot and tempting. Let me tell y'all a tale or two. Room tone. I feel like I should start this episode because it's inspired by graduation with that dun 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 dun. Wait. Is that the presidential song? You know, graduation, they usually have a song, like a musical song. I sound totally ignorant right now. I am totally ignorant right now. So we're not going to start off the graduation episode with the music. Insert stock music here in your head if you want, but the presidential song is in my head for some reason. Needless to say, this episode is inspired by graduation, and it's also that time of year that graduation is happening. I'm recording this in late May, and I saw a Gil, last week when I was driving into the city. She was wearing a cap and gown. Well, not really the cap. She was just wearing the black gown and heels crossing 9th Avenue and 57th Street. First of all, I was thinking, oh girl, how far are you walking in those heels? But then it just started really reminding me of graduation. Now, for my high school graduation, we did not wear the gowns. We actually wore different types of gowns because my high school, I guess, it was a very difficult high school as far as subjects and just in general, it was difficult high school about fitting into Southern perfection, if you will. But for graduation, we didn't wear caps and gowns. It was all about an aesthetically pleasing graduation because it looked like we were all getting married to each other. The gills all had to wear floor-length white gowns, but not cap and gown, but like dresses, like wedding dresses, like debutante dresses. I was never a debutante, so I did not have a debutante dress to reuse or repurpose, and I was not a young bride. None of the gills were. So I'm not even, that's not even a funny joke. I shouldn't joke about that. That's not funny, Brooke. But the boys had to wear tuxedos. So it really didn't look like we were like at some really messed up wedding, but no, we were graduating. However, finding said white dress, basically a debutante dress. I always have to say debutante like that, like you're so southern and fancy. I think my favorite part of any debutante ball is in the latest Borat movie when they go to the debutante ball. If you have not seen that, please watch it. Needless to say, back in South Louisiana, I mean, heck, back anywhere, back in the late 90s, there were no long white gowns for me at the ready. There was not a plentiful abundance of white gowns. So, like usual, we had to have it made for me. And Mama usually made my costumes, as we all know. But she was like, baby, I'm not taking on this gown. This is going to be too difficult. We got to find someone. So we found this man named Lester. And he lived in this fun, the Garden District of Louisiana, of Baton Rouge, back home. This cute little area. So we go to Lester's house. And he's like, well, honey, do you have a pattern? And I was like, I don't even know what kind of dress I want. I don't know what to do. And I was about 200 pounds at the time. Very, very large cheeks, always red. My cheeks are probably red right now because I was just doing an exercise with one of my YouTube gals, Lori. I love her. She doesn't know me, but I love her. Needless to say, my hair was frizzy. I mean, I was worthy of love. I was worthy of all the good things. And I was damn straight worthy enough of having a fabulous dress for my graduation. So I said, I really don't know pattern. And Mama was like, oh, we didn't even think about that. And Mama thought she was failing because Mama was always good with having pattern. My bra is in my face. for those of y'all who are not, who are listening, not watching, as we know, I'm in my closet as always, and my bras and my scarves and my clothing is insulation, sound insulation, and the bra keeps hitting me in the eye. But yeah, so we didn't really have a pattern. We didn't really have an idea. And then I said, you know what? You know what I really want? I want the dress that Kate Winslet wears in Titanic. And Lester's like, well, which one, honey? I know all of them. And I was like, well, honey, the one she drowns in. I mean, wouldn't that look beautiful in all white? And basically what it is, it's like flowy, billowy, kind of like peasanty with a sash. I'm like, that just looks so wonderful. So we get to town. Lester measures me, and I felt very comfortable around him. He was such a nice guy. And Mama goes to town, and we start kind of looking and trying to read up, and the internet is just kind of like getting alive and kicking at this point. So Lester basically made a pattern from watching the movie over and over. And my mom, I have to call her Mama. Mama did do research online, and she couldn't quite find a pattern. She found somebody's like artist rendering that she sent to Lester, but also there was a warning. This dress seems light and flowy and billowy, which is exactly what I wanted. It looked wonderful. I wouldn't sweat my butt off in South Louisiana in May graduating. But there was fair warning also on the internet, but this dress is deceiving. It can be very heavy. And Lester and my mom warned me of that. I said, no, I don't care. I really, really, really want this dress. And I really resonated with Kate Winslet, because Kate Winslet, though by no means was she the same size as me, she was not super, super skinny. Like I'd seen, we had all seen at that point, super, super skinny girls on TV and on, in the movies. And Kate Winslet was somebody who looked normal size to me. And so I felt like I related with her. It's, all in all, I really, really wanted this dress. I didn't care if it was heavy. And I'm thinking, it can't be heavy. It's billowy. So needless to say, the time has come for me to go and try on the dress at Lester's house. And it is heavy as all get out, y'all. It's beautiful. He did a wonderful job. Wonderful seamstress. But it is heavy as all get out. I said, I don't care. It is fabulous. Who's going to have a handmade dress? Well, it's because nobody had to have a handmade dress except for me. But I had a fabulous handmade Titanic dress. Now, in all fairness, the dress looked better in the light blue and the white and the light pink that Kate Winslet had. The all white, it kind of didn't do the dress justice. I wish I could have done different shades of white, and Mama and I even debated being little rebels and doing a bit of off-white in there, but my school was very, very adamant about it had to be white, as in like just paper white. So graduation rolls around, and I actually won an award for the Visual and Performing Arts Award. And I think it's honestly, they just made up that award to like make me feel good about myself, maybe. I don't know why. But then again, how many students were like equally devoting much of their time to performing arts and to visual arts? I was somebody who did that. I mean, I didn't really have a social life. I kind of did. I was kind of like a weird rebel nerd. But needless to say, I was very proud of this award. So I get up in front of all the gills in their white dresses and the boys in their tuxes and all of our parents and family members and friends in our chapel, sweating our butts off because there's no air conditioning in this chapel. And I go up to receive the award, and the dress is so heavy that I topple over and I just fall. And it was just basically like, we kept joking, the Titanic dress, I sank in the Titanic dress. I wish I still had that dress. I think my mama did donate it to a bride who was on a budget back when she had moved to North Carolina, which is my second home, and she gave it to somebody there, like a friend of a friend of a friend, or donated it to a place, because who's going to hold on to that? I mean, I wasn't getting married anytime soon, and nowadays for a wedding, I'd want to repurpose the fabric because I'm a big fan of upcycling fabric, but I don't think I could wear that dress again. I mean, first off, I wouldn't fit into it. I've lost weight since then, but I don't want to sink again. I mean, the Titanic can only sink once, right? So for college, all right, so for high school, graduate, and there's so many high hopes right after graduation. especially the younger you are, there's more hope, right? So there's so many hopes after high school graduation. Because, I mean, in my case, I was coming up to the big city of New York City, and I was going to go to college on Long Island. And I was going to start my life as a performing arts theater person. After college graduation, things were a little different. So college graduation, I got the gown. I got the traditional, black gown, and you could wear whatever you want underneath it. You could wear a t-shirt underneath it. You could wear nothing underneath it, your birthday suit. I wore flip-flops. Also try that 50 times fast. I wore flip-flops. And I have a picture of my best friend, Andrea, and I yelling at our parents or something because we were totally hot, totally uncomfortable. She's wearing heels. She's rocking it. I mean, she pulls it off. And I'm just like, whatever, I'm wearing flip-flops. No, me, I was wearing a t-shirt and shorts underneath because it was hot as hell. So needless to say, after college graduation, there was more of a, what do I do with my life now? What do I do with my life? Like, what is next? I knew I didn't want a master's degree. That wasn't my path. We had a good friend growing up when we would visit them every summer in North Carolina, Tammy. Shout out, Tammy. And Tammy would be like, Brooke, are you going to be like one of those lifetime students? And, like those people who are always in school. And I have several friends who are, family friends who are, and that's great. I said, no, Tammy, no, I'm going to go to the School of Hard Knocks. And I was like maybe 10 at the time when I told her this. But I guess we're all in a constant state of school if we look at it that way. So we graduate college, and it's kind of like, what happens to my life? So flash forward to now, or to a couple of days ago, when I see that Gil crossing the street wearing a gown and her high heels. And I'm thinking, oh man, that's awesome. What a great day for her. This is a great day. She has worked towards a goal. She has achieved it. This is awesome. Good for her. Sending her good vibes. And then I'm thinking, what the hell happens now? What happens now? And then I start to think, what have I done with my life? What has happened to me? What am I really doing? And like Tammy says, I did become a constant student because being in the acting field, you do have to be a constant student because you always have to keep up with your craft, be, doing classes, things like that. So that's great. But I still feel like sometimes I worry, and I think a lot of people do, regardless of what field you're in, but especially in a freelance type of field. What am I doing with my life? Am I successful? Am I successful? Am I, and you play that comparison game with people who aren't in your field, really. And first of all, you can't do that. But it's also like, if you continue to be if you continue to be a student of life every individual day of your life, you won't wait for this big culmination of graduation. And then what? So there's no big high and there's no big low. So I also think graduation's kind of like weight loss. We have that thing of like, when I lose the weight, it's gonna happen. When I graduate, magna cum laude, it's gonna happen. Or even for my actor friends out there, when I get my first big break, it's gonna happen. And that's a very if then when, or when then if type of mentality. So it makes the lull days, L-U-L-L, the lull days seem extra low, because it's like, where is that culmination? A lot of people say when you lose weight, for example, oh, things are going to be great. And yeah, when I lost weight, I felt great because I achieved a goal that a lot of people, myself included, kind of thought was pretty impossible. I mean, losing 100 pounds is pretty tough. I'm not going to lie, it was not easy. It's taken me about 20 years, like over 20 years. And I failed more times than I succeeded. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what it is about graduation too. You're seeing one success, you're not seeing all of the failure. Kind of like with acting or a creative field, freelance field, you're seeing one success, not all the failure. And it's almost like this mentality of, I'm waiting, like something miraculous is going to happen when you get to that certain point, but you're not enjoying the way to that point on the way. People always say, enjoy the journey, enjoy the journey, enjoy the journey. And yes, that is kind of the theme of today. That is what I'm talking about. But it's a little bit more than that. It's setting up goals and achieving them, but it's also making yourself realize that once you get to that goal, is that what's going to make you happy? The next day that you wake up after you graduate, are you going to be that much smarter or that much happier? Or does it happen every little baby step along the way? And I know, everybody, we're all highly evolved enough to understand how I'm equating this to weight loss, right? So for example, I tend to post pictures of Transformation Tuesday, and thank y'all to my friends and my followers and my peeps who like them and look at them, and that's wonderful. And I'm not knocking any comments anybody's ever made because I don't want to be off-putting or offend anybody by me getting offended. Oh, that's so Southern of me. I don't want to offend you, but I'm offended. Give me a break. I do get a little bit, I'm just going to say it, I get a little bit ticked off when I post a Transformation Tuesday picture. And I'm just doing it to say, guys, I achieved a goal that like doctors did not believe I could do. Like medical professionals did not believe in me. I love my family. I don't know if my family believed in me. Friends, love them. I don't know if they believed in me. A lot of haters definitely didn't believe in me. I kind of believed in myself, but not all the time. But there's these two pictures of me and people are like, you look so much healthier here. You look so much happier here. You look so much better. Like E-R-I-E-R, like she's so much here, prettier, better, sexier, worthier. And it's like, no, I achieved a goal that was difficult, but I'm not any different. Just kind of like with graduation, are you going to say you're smarter? Or like when you book that acting role, are you better? Are you more worthy of your own approval because you got to a certain spot that society says is to be held up high? Oy, oy, oy. If we expect miracles to miraculously, I'm using like two words within one thing. If we are constantly in this state of miracles will happen when I get somewhere, we will constantly be disappointed because we're already there. We are already there. Every single step of the day, we are resetting. And those goals are kind of along that roller coaster, along that timeline of life, but it's every day that you get to reset, So think about this. This is one of my most favorite movies in the world, and it's The Graduate. At the very end, he's going and Dustin Hoffman's like banging on the church and he rescues her and they're in the car. They're in the back of the bus and they've escaped and they're sitting and they're so excited. And then their faces, the very last shot, their faces are kind of like, now what? Now what? Like all of this and now what? Which is kind of, if you've seen the movie, it's kind of the whole kind of theme of the movie. Like I graduated and now what? So if we set ourselves up like, I'm going to achieve this goal, I'm going to lose this weight, and things are going to be perfect. I'm going to graduate, and I'm going to get the perfect job. We're setting ourselves up for just nothing but like self-deprecation, disappointment, and failure. If we keep making success if then when, or when then if, this kind of mentality, again, we just have to really enjoy the journey. Because I promise y'all, like every day I sometimes go back and I say, I want to revisit my day one. Oh God, am I fixing to cry? Here we go. I want to revisit my day one, right? Think about kindergarten graduation, which I don't really remember, but I want to go back to day one of kindergarten where you were just starting. I want to go back to day one of high school. Actually, I don't. That's one day one I don't want to go back to. I want to go back to day one of college. I want to go back to day one of when my health journey began, which I couldn't quite put a finger on when that is. Because the best part is those moments, moment to moment. Honestly, the best way to be able to revisit all those moments is just to be in the moment now. Because that will give you the best, oh, sorry, microphone, I just hit the microphone. That will give you the best memory, at least for me. The way I can think and remember things the clearest is when I'm just totally in that moment. So let's not make graduation or working towards a goal an ending. It is a beginning. But every day is a beginning. All right? Because I know for damn straight, while I love the movie The Graduate, I don't want my life being like I achieve a goal and then I'm in the back of the bus sitting with a blank stare, wondering what the heck happens next. I want to be like, good morning. What happens next? I hope that was not too cheesy. I mean it with all my heart. But to all the graduates out there, congratulations. Now start every day afresh and best of luck. Thanks for listening, y'all. I'm like doing namaste. Namaste. I feel like we deserve a namaste today. Namaste. Thanks so much for listening, y'all. It is my hope to inspire, uplift, and entertain you with this Who's Dat Fat Girl podcast. So, if you're hungry for more, you can book me to speak or perform my solo show that inspired this podcast, Fat Girl Costumes, written by yours truly and directed by Brian Lady at your virtual or in-person event. Please visit brookehoover.com/fluffybuttproductions or email me at contactbrookhoover@gmail.com for more info. And let's follow each other on Instagram. I'm at Brooke Hoover, and the O's in my name are not the letter O, they're zeros. Not because I want to be a size 0, but because I guess I'm just so clever with my late 90s Yahoo self. And if you like this podcast, which I really hope you do, please give me a 5-star rating and write a review on Apple Podcasts. And most importantly, share this with your friends, family, and other people you may know who are as fat as we are. That's fat with a PH.